Hi everyone. Let me see if my mic. Okay, looks like it's picking up. I've got it. It's a little bit different. Now I've got streaming directly to Steemit as well as streaming. Sorry, to Restream, which is going to YouTube and Periscope. So sorry, I'm a bit of a mess. I was actually sick Friday night, Saturday morning. I was just dead. Just sore throat. Hey Stevie, hey Shirley. And so I was just tired. I kept sleeping. Thankfully, my wife was able to just go ahead and take care of the kids and let me sleep. And then after that, it was the Unity 4J Online Vigil, and that lasted till what, an hour and a half ago, maybe an hour ago. Please feel free to join in. What we do here, for people who don't know, is we let anyone in to talk. We talk to each other. We talk about things. Sometimes it's specific, sometimes it's not. This one is kind of a little bit of both. You can talk about the Online Vigil, what your thoughts about it were, who you liked. I mean, I liked pretty much everybody. One of the things that, I mean, if I had to pick, if they would want to come on and talk, I mean, gosh, there's a lot, but like the ones that I didn't really know about or never seen in an interview, and it could just be my fault, is it Mike Crispin? Someone. See, I don't even know their name. Let me see. What was the name? Gosh. Maybe Mark Crispin Miller. Yep. And then there's so much. Vivian Kubrick, just because I've got that conspiracy theorist in me, where I'd be asking her a lot of questions about lots of stuff. And did you notice that there was some I don't know what you call it, the Illuminati-esque type of commenting, although I'm not sure if that was intended to be on purpose or by accident. I just thought that was interesting. It caught my attention. So it was weird. I mean, everyone didn't get a lot of sleep or a lot of rest. Hey, Eric. A lot of people helped out, which is pretty cool and amazing. What else? Sorry, I'm focusing on too many different things. Let me get that. And like Joe, who's the lead tech guy over there for Internet Party, he had a sick kid, hand, foot, and mouth or something. I was sick. I got from my son. He's been sick with a fever, so I was able to help out initially, and then I kind of got busy, but I still just managed the Restream mirrors and the Facebook. So on their Facebook, I just kind of managed that. They don't know how to work the Facebook yet. What sucks about Facebook is every 4 hours, it automatically ends any type of live stream. So you have to restart it every 4 hours. It's a pain in the butt. It kind of reminded me of, if you've ever watched Lost, where they're in that I think it was season 2 and 3. They're in that shelter basement, whatever, and they have to reset the combination in that computer every 108 minutes. So 108, man, I'm telling you, we're going deep into conspiracy theory tonight. I'm just kidding. We don't have to go there. Not tonight. Anyways, if you can't see that, there's this little military style cot. I still need to take a shower. I want to take a shower. Sorry, I'm just jumping all over the place. So I couldn't really get any sleep, but I was at least able to lie down in the basement and sleep with the bats. I don't know if we still have bats. I haven't seen one yet. So that was my weekend. But you know what? I said before, you know, what we have to go through this weekend and with our tiredness and exhaustion is just small cakes compared to what Julian Assange has to deal with for the last couple of years. So it's worth it, I guess. It's hard to complain. I was always been one of those people where no matter how bad things are, there's always someone else having it worse. So I just think about that and go, you know what, toughen up. I mean, that doesn't mean you got to go kill yourself with whatever you're doing, working overly hard and whatnot. But, you know, I think it's just more of a mindset type of thing. So people can come on in. Don't be shy. I would, I know it's late. It's 12:22 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is almost 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's Sunday night. So tomorrow, I'm sure a lot of people have to go to work, but someone like me who's jobless, it doesn't matter. I'll have stuff going on. Tomorrow it'll be different because my wife is going to look after Roland since he can't go to daycare. And I'll probably crash hard tonight. So, oh, here we go. Oh my goodness, my audio wasn't even plugged in. Holy smokes, that was just dumb. All right, hey Snark, how's it going? Can you?
I should have audio now.
Yep, sounds good. When
long.
Oh yeah. it was very long. Just to show people, I took a picture of my command center. It's still messy. I mean, it's cleaner now, and I've set up more stuff. So, but this is during the thing, and I just wanted to take a picture. So, I'll share the picture. Yeah. So that was my setup. You can see that there's just my main. I'm making sure there's Discord, the Zoom, and then this one here was the one going to Facebook. I had to change every 4 hours. This one I was setting up, I didn't get working in time, so I had to use this one. This one was going to Steemit, DLive. No. This one was going to YouTube Mirror, and that one was going to the Steemit Mirror. This one, once it was set up, it was just gonna be a backup for whatever. So eventually things are gonna be a lot cooler. I think I'm gonna try to get a carpet here because unfortunately they whoever lived here before painted the basement, and you know I think it's probably lead-based paint. So every time I roll around, I'm getting it on the wheels of the chair, and it's getting dustifies it, if that's an actual term or not. And then my daughter was able to hang out with me for a little bit, and that's always great. She loves watching Blue World, Jonathan Bird's Blue World, which is just marine life stuff. And I found the smallest headset that I could, but it was still too big, so I had to put up some a little bit of a towel there to give her some cushion. So I had some company in the basement. I typically don't let them down here just because there's just so much dust and dander and paint accumulation and bugs and bats. What are your thoughts about it, Snork? How much did you watch? Who did you like?
I popped in and out a few times. I was surprised that Vivian Kubrick was there.
Yeah, so was I. That was cool. I'd love to interview her and talk with her. So I might try to set that up. Because she was saying a lot of stuff that I was speculating. But I don't know how much of that is based off of her not knowing and research and kind of going into the same stuff that everyone else is researching into, like Stanley Kubrick and whatnot. But it seems like she actually has experiences within the movie industry and stuff where she actually can kind of confirm.
And who knows what she might have heard on the sidelines when her father was busy. So she might have got a completely different story than him. True. She might have heard people arguing that they wouldn't even pay attention to a kid being there.
True. But how much could you remember as a kid of all the people talking? I can't remember stuff that, my parents were talking about before when I was a kid. So it could be tough unless it was something really memorable that she can focus on. Hello for people in chat. Bob, Paul, Zox said hello to everybody else. Wow. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about because, in a way, Ryan had an issue yesterday, if you didn't know. And then the conspiracy theory in me kind of sometimes wonders. I don't know. I don't want to say it yet. I just have a lot of. I always have reservations about everything I get into. I never even thought I'd be getting into this type of stuff. But I'm here. I'm in the stuff now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, where did you think you would be? What you would be doing? I know you had issue. You had your wife and your father and your family. So I mean, you probably weren't thinking too far ahead, but say 2 years ago during the election, and where do you think you were going to be now?
Let's see. Oh, I think I'm trying to remember. 16.
Just Bernie Sanders primary.
I know. I'm trying to remember when I came out here. I have to look. I'm thinking this is about the time of year I came out here. A little bit earlier than this, 2 years ago. So everything was still pretty messed up back then.
Yeah. Where did you move from?
About an hour and a half west of Chicago.
Okay, so you didn't move too far away, just pretty much a different state.
Yeah. The town is almost a clone of this town because it was far enough out of town. 150 or 100 and some years ago, I can't remember exactly when, they didn't want to risk explosions in Chicago. So this town was a railroad hub, and they would take steel cylinders. It's kind of like the old locomotives that were run by coal, that were steam powered.
Yeah.
But with these, they would pump the steam extremely high pressure into a tank and then pull it into Chicago and use it to go into Chicago so they wouldn't blow smoke all over the town. So we were all the roads had names according to what they did. There was Treatment Plant Road, there was Steam Plant Road, and different roads by what happened for processes. It sprung up that fast, and then the name stuck, and they kept them. And then they call it the Hub City. This was Rochelle, Illinois. And then I moved out here and they repaired trains, refueled them. They had steam trains, and they had the compressed steam. I can't remember what they call them. But this town was almost the same. Out here, they had a huge locomotive repair center and refueling center, and it was kind of a stuff coming from Minnesota would come down to here, and all across Iowa and Nebraska would come to here for repairs. And they also called this the Hub City. Towns are same size. The only difference is we do not have a taco place in town. That is a serious issue.
There's a lot of taco places around here. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think you're bigger than us.
Yeah, I think what's your town population?
6,000.
Oh, okay, yeah. 50,000 here.
Yeah, you're almost big enough to have a university.
Yeah. Anyways, why I was asking is because do you think, like, how far ahead do you think Julian Assange thought that he would be in the embassy for? Like, did he think it would be a couple years? Do you think it could be forever, a decade? Like, I mean, because to me, it's a mindset. For me, I'd have to think I'm there forever, because otherwise I'll fail. I'll give in. I'll give up. For me, I have to know I'm all in. Otherwise, there's that little bit of doubt where it's like, no, I'm gonna give up.
I would think it's more that he was surprised that he was alive.
Okay.
And he's probably surprised every day that he still wakes up and he's still there and not dead.
Do you think, I mean, if this keeps up, do you think, I mean, if that's his mindset, that he's just surprised that he's not dead yet, do you think one day he would just leave, just walk out and see what happens?
I think at this point, his main goal in life is just to keep adding on the days and making him look more silly.
Yeah.
I think that's his only goal right now. His only currency is how many days he can keep them from taking him outside.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a closet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's in worse than solitary confinement conditions.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, while I like the unity and it's a good cause for it, it's like that of all the shit that's going around the world, that it has to take someone like Julian Assange to unite. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
It's also like we're looking forward to the next month in a way, because we get to see a lot of people listen to talk about Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, but then that's just another month where he's disconnected from the world. So it's always this good with the bad, or it's horrible no matter what you think about. But and they mentioned it a couple of times where free Tommy Robinson, there's a lot of buzz going on with that, and Julian Assange just kind of gets hidden. It's just kind of like, dude, there's Julian Assange. Why are you focused on Tommy Robinson? I mean, they should always be included, I think. So if someone's having an issue with being suppressed with their freedom of speech, they need to tie in everybody. And so the next person that gets suppressed, if people are fighting, are trying to make a big thing about it, they gotta have, you know, free Julian Assange, free Tommy Robinson, blah blah blah. That way the list gets big, and not just have it just happen to the next person and forget about the person before. So that's another thing. I don't know. I always have a different way of looking at things. Maybe not just. It's mostly for fun. You know how, like, if I think about religion and how everyone thinks about, well, it's about what happens after this life. You're preparing yourself and living your life here so you can prepare yourself for the next stage after you die. For me, it's like, what if we're in the stage that we're preparing for in a previous life before we came here? This is it. This isn't the training program. This is the actual real thing. And then the previous whatever happenstance was our training thing, our training program, or whatever training realm, reality, whatever you want to call it. So it just feels like I don't know. Everyone just thinks the same way and just trying to think a little bit differently. I'm not saying think outside the box, just think differently. And at the end, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we all, a couple of people said, you know, we all die in the end. And how we live is just more important than really how we die. But religion, it just seems to be how you die, not necessarily how you live.
Yeah. And I view it more as a means of extracting money from more gullible people.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I feel like I'm hoping Vivian Kubrick is right, that they're not as powerful as we think, that it's really easy to take them down. I just don't think it's that simple. But it feels like someone's always asking for money. I mean, money. People need money. That's just the way things are in the system. And the conspiracy theory part of me, like I'm saying, is what if WikiLeaks and Julian Assange has been taken over or usurped? We don't know. No one really knows. We hear from people that we trust and saying they talk with family members, they talk with lawyers, etc. I mean, if everything's just kind of taken control of, we're just paying more money into a system that's a controlled opposition that we know nothing about anymore, because everything's so secretive. Within the embassy, within Julian Assange, you know, we're just kind of told whatever people tell us. We can't find out for ourselves. That's the hardest thing about news, is you just have to assume that the person you're listening is telling you the truth, and that the person that or whatever entity that they're getting their information from is also telling the truth. And we have no verification that, unless they name their source. But then, like I said, you also have to protect your sources. So it's kind of a catch-22 in a sense. And so it's all about trust. And I don't know, if you can't trust anyone, how do you build trust? I don't know. I guess in whatever, we're at the stage of whatever reality that we're experiencing, and we just have to go with it, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a Debbie Downer right now, just because it's late. I need sleep. I need a shower, and I'm sick. Sorry.
No, yeah. I still think it was a worthwhile endeavor.
I mean, I agree with a lot of people what they are saying, anyways. Did you disagree with anyone that was saying something? I mean, it's pretty easy to agree with what they're coming in and saying, but is there something that you might?
No, I didn't really see anything to disagree with.
Yeah.
They're bringing up that people were proposing that it was all a hoax, and that just hurts him. So, it's a sad case. All you can do is pass it along and do your best to try to vote for the right people or promote the next politicians that might bring it under control. I don't know how much we're going to help there.
That's something we've been trying to do for how many decades?
Well, the 11th Amendment to the Constitution, how long did it take to get ratified? The real 11th Amendment, not the one that says it's the current 11th Amendment. The original Bill of Rights was 12 amendments.
But
one was thrown out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one took until I think 1992 to ratify.
Really?
Yeah.
I am.
The 27th Amendment that we know now.
Oh.
Was among the original 12.
I'll look into that.
And it was removed because it disallowed them from raising their own pay within the election period they were in.
Well, okay. It's not the 11th Amendment because that one's...
No. It's now the 27th, but it was supposed to have been the 11th.
Oh, okay. Okay, the 11th was ratified a year later.
Yeah, okay. But the 27th waited so long to get ratified. But it was actually from the beginning, all the original 12 that were submitted together.
Oh, until 1982.
82.
Okay. Sorry, I'm using Wikipedia, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to lie about that part.
I'm pretty sure it's correct. I was just trying to remember the date.
Yeah. 1789. So why did it take so long? Why did they strike it down?
They wanted the right to increase their own pay.
I mean, why did it take so long to get
ratified? Oh, everybody forgot about it after that. And then some student found out that it was still valid, brought it up and started a campaign to get it passed. And he actually did it as a school paper and got a bad grade on it. And it turned out he actually was right, and he got it done. He got the 27th Amendment passed.
Wow. What? Yeah. They get paid too much. They don't want to leave after they get paid so much.
No.
And isn't serving one term, they get pension after that?
Yeah, but I don't think they get to collect it until they're 65.
Okay. Or whenever they retire.
Yeah, whatever that is.
62 or 72 or whatever.
They can claim they want to retire the day they leave office.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And almost all of them that are in office get voted back in. So they're almost always able to still get around it and vote for their own pay raise. So.
One of the things I did disagree with is, and I disagree with a lot of things. That's just me. I'm pretty opinionated, and I'll voice it. One of them is that we need to have civil discourse or civil unrest, peaceful, make it peaceful. Be just, hoorah, we need this, and shame on you. We can't shame them into submission. They have no empathy. These leaders, these elites, these warmongers, whatever. I mean, that's why they're warmongers. That's why they're child molesters. That's why they're whatever. They don't care about poisoning the environment, stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't watch it nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, I listened pretty much, but I wasn't paying attention all the time. But the thought that we're going to change things by peaceful means, I don't think that's going to work. That's not the first. That's not the first. That's not the first thing that you represent. It's like I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy. It would be like I don't know, going to a bully that's been beating you up every day and saying, "Hey, you know, all I want to do is make sure that we become friends." And you know, instead of punching me, could you hug me? I like hugs. And then now they beat you up, and you're like, well, tomorrow I'm gonna come back and I am gonna do the same thing, and one day you're gonna hug me. And expecting, you know, one day that they're gonna hug it. Who knows? Maybe when he's just gonna get tired of bullying and just gonna say, all right, here we go. Here's a hug. You know, I'm sorry. But if it's a psychopath or someone who has no empathy, that's never going to happen. But you know what they are? What they do fear? They fear being killed because then they can't enjoy other things. They enjoy other things being taken away and serving a prison sentence because they don't want to serve a prison sentence. They want to eat at 5-star hotels in the, you know, and go and control people, tell military people what to do and police force what to do, tell judges what to do, tell whatever, prosecutors to prosecute. It doesn't matter. They want to be above the law. They want to be in control. They're afraid of losing all that. And that's one of the things where I think where we hear about all the people on Wall Street that lose their money and they would rather die, jump off a building and commit suicide than start over. Right? Because their mentality is that, you know, they just want to live that good materialistic life. And if it happens to screw other people, well, that's your fault for not being as good in the materialistic world, in the system that exists. So, but I think there's an advantage to people like us, Snork. You and me, you more so. You've gone through the stages of life. You've gotten way more than me as far as like a nest egg, and then
no.
Well, after your family
issues,
that's gone. But I mean, you're not quitting. You didn't quit. You didn't just say, you know what, I'm just gonna work and just spend my days drinking beer and smoking pot. That thing behind you, your 3D printer is always going on. I mean, me, I don't know. I'm starting from scratch. I can get back in the system. I mean, unless I have like that red card where they put me on like a no-fly list or something. But I don't think they will because I'm so small that if they did that, they just give me more exposure, and then I'd be able to keep doing this, and people would pay me to keep doing this because it's like, hey, that's the Asian guy that got exposed. He's a alt-right neo-Nazi. I'm like, what? Just because I wear NRA hat? You know, that so they can't hit the little people because the little people get big in this type of arena or whatever you want to call it. But I think that's what it takes. It's just the people who keep getting beat down, and then we just get back up, and we just. That's why I like that Rocky quote. You know, it's not about how much you can punch out; it's how much you can take punches you can take and keep going. And that's also Julian Assange. he just takes it and he just keeps on going. He could have been in the embassy for a month and go, you know, this isn't for me. I don't think I can last a year. A year goes by and he goes, you know, this isn't for me. I can't last 2 years. 2 years pass by. He goes, you know, I could probably do this for 3 years, probably not 4 years. And then next thing you know, it's just every day is just make it one more day type of thing.
I think he plays it by the hour.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think he does? I mean, you're in a small room. You have no internet access. If I don't have internet access for one day, I could at least go fishing. I could.
Well, you know, there was a case of somebody that was imprisoned, I think, during the Civil War, that designed a complete rifle in his head. And afterwards, he set up a manufacturing business and made that rifle.
Wow.
Became one of the major ones. I can't remember which brand it was. But he was in prison, and he was like in solitaire for like years. And he just kept thinking about, how am I going to make this one part? How's it going to fit? He couldn't draw it, couldn't write it down or anything. He got out, he had the complete plans. And who knows, maybe he is thinking about something.
Yeah. But you got to think about things that aren't like wishful, right? Because to be in a situation, and yeah, I see this a lot in survival reality shows, is they're out there, once they start thinking about eating pizza and hamburgers every day, or, you know, seeing their kids and their whatever they give in, their mentality, their mental state just breaks down because they just want it so bad that they can't focus on the current situation and get past that hour, get past what they need to do, get past that day, the week, the month, the year. And it's a mental game, really. I mean, physicalness you can get through. Like, you know, you might be out for a day, but you're not out forever. You know, your mentality helps you get through any type of physical shortcomings, whether it's sickness or just fatigue, and all that other stuff. So
yeah, you can get through stuff with mental. I mean, you're always going to have everything that happens to you. It leaves some impact in your mind. Yeah. Everything. You know, even if you eat a piece of candy, it leaves something with you. So he'll never get over this. And it'll probably shape the way he does everything for the rest of his life. And being deprived of contact with other people is sometimes worse than being deprived of contact or with food.
Yep.
So, you know, yeah, I think it's going to take somebody that has a lot better knowledge of psychology than me to help them get through this.
But what about actually getting him out? Because a lot of people ask that question. And I think there's enough support. I mean, even though our numbers are low, someone can get a couple of tickets out there. Someone can, you know, there could be a couple that have some history with being like bodyguard type of things, and just someone who can withstand physical violence, whether they, you know, it's, and just plan ahead, tactical team, just same thing with military these days.
I don't think it'll help. You know, I mean, just the overwhelming resources of who wants him to be caught. You can't fight back. You cannot resist any efforts to capture him as he leaves. The British government.
No, that's the whole thing, is to resist. That there's going to be physical violence happening if they try to capture him, and that's just that's a news story that can't be hidden. That can't be suppressed. I mean, there's just going to be people. Let's make it public that people are getting him out. And if the government tries to take them illegally, whatever, by any means, that they're just going to meet violence. And the only way to do it is, okay, up front, look, that's going to happen. Government has two choices, whether to commit that violence from people stating what they're going to do if the government tries, or to not. And most likely they're going to not, because they're going to say, you know what, we're going to find you eventually and we're going to get you then. Because I mean,
they're going to need almost the entire populace into the streets to do something like that.
Yeah.
I don't see it happen. Now, it might happen in Europe. It won't happen here. Here's where it has to happen to convince the government to call off the dogs.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that either.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I still suspect that he'll come down with either leukemia, brain cancer, or pancreatic cancer within the next year.
Like made to happen?
Yeah, like made to happen. Yeah. And I hope by my saying so it blocks it from happening, because I have no other leverage in this event.
Are you talking about like what's his name? He's that reggae artist, Bob Marley type of.
I'm not familiar with how he died.
He got I think he got cancer. I mean, he was shot a couple of times and he survived. But I think the conspiracy theory is that that some government gave him, CIA, US probably, gave him some form of cancer, and that's how he died.
Well, leukemia is not that hard to induce.
Okay. Like, okay, give us an example.
We had the problem with our embassy people when the Russians took a bunch of diodes. This is not a diode, but it would look like this. Oh, sorry. Monitors over there. It would look like this. And you know how when they're made, they have a wire on them. So this is a resistor, and they put one of these with a diode, and by tuning the length of the lead that you leave on it, it forms an antenna. And when you put them together, it forms a mini radio transmitter that is powered by microwaves. So when they made our embassy in Russia, the Russians filled the concrete full of these. And they were beaming in heavy doses of microwaves. So as the microwave hits one of these, it either absorbs or doesn't absorb it, because the diode lets the electricity flow through it, because a wave going across it forms electricity. And the diode blocks it, so it's only one way, and that makes it turn into pretty much a radio transmitter. And then they mark the Doppler shift. So when I'm talking, I'm making that concrete just vibrate a little bit. So they used really high power frequency and frequency that they could hear by recording the waves that were coming back, conversations throughout the building. And by pointing it in different areas, they could pick up different conversations. But it led to a large number of our people getting leukemia.
Wow. So,
I mean, from that, we learned that you can selectively give people leukemia by microwave.
How much power is needed for this to actually work?
I don't remember. Either Popular Mechanics or Popular Science, or maybe it was Popular Electronics, or three. I read all three when I was younger. Did a pretty in-depth study on the Russian embassy when it had to be shut down. And then they started looking for these passive repeaters all over the place.
Is there a way to divert that? The frequency that might be passing through you. I mean, I'm not talking about like wearing a lead suit, but but something simple like
it's not exactly simple, but it's feasible.
Okay. Oh, we might need your help in developing these suits.
Suit wouldn't help you much.
Yeah. I always had. I'm not sure if you read like Frank Herbert's Dune and whatnot, but they have these shields, which pretty much block any type of projectiles, except laser guns, basically laser guns. If they shoot and hit one of these shields, then it causes kind of a subatomic explosion. So they don't use these laser guns in battle with people wearing a bunch of shields, because then it's going to blow up everybody in battle. So that's why they just kind of start using daggers and other types of projectiles that can slow down and then speed up once they kind of get past that barrier. But I was always thinking that could be our future warfare, going back into kind of the medieval days. Everyone's fighting hand to hand. My idea was that you would have a shield made out of a certain type of frequency, and the only thing that could penetrate that frequency is someone else knowing what that frequency was. And the only way it doesn't deflect and instead goes through is you got to match that frequency. Anyways, it's more of one of those sci-fi type of imaginations I had as a kid, thinking about how a shield like that would work. And I always thought laser guns, and I'm not sure, not laser guns, but just lasers would be kind of easy to fight. You just carry mirrors everywhere, or very polished type of metal or something, just something that'll deflect that laser.
Because the lasers are almost the same. Different frequencies of laser react differently to different surfaces. So what is a mirror to one frequency of laser may not be to another.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pretty good shot that if it's a very, very reflective material, that you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I can't think of what frequencies, but infrared hits some things more difficult than others.
And just so you know, that's why military people shine their boots, because in case they have laser blast to their boots, it'll reflect and they can keep running. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Good job in helping out with the moderating in the live
everyone.
Chat. And billions of retweets.
Yeah, except they're being suppressed, because typically I might see like hundreds or thousands of tweets from Eric, but I think I only saw like a couple hundred.
Retweeting and tweeting like crazy.
Yeah, and that was another thing that was interesting, how
the censorship of Twitter.
Well, I mean, we all knew it was going to happen, but I think Suzie had the good foresight of making sure people just tweet away as much as they can, just kind of like the last time, and just exposing that they're being shadow banned, and that kind of stopped. So I'm kind of wondering how big the viewership might be next by like a week or two. Just to see, more people be exposed to it, more people want to hear what certain people were saying. I mean,
I suspect the bots will be better, and they will start filtering out the tweets quicker. And we'll probably no longer just shadow ban them outright. So they'll probably just take out selective tweets so that people don't even realize they're being shadow banned.
Yeah.
Let's call that shade banned.
One of the surprises I thought was Jimmy Dore. Like, I never really see Jimmy Dore in these things. And I always thought it was just a reason because of TYT, but he actually showed up. He talked about what he talked about.
I missed that one. I ended up sleeping. Right. I ended up sleeping like 8 hours today.
I was in and out.
I always had to have something running just in case there's an issue. They'll show it in Discord, or I'll look at my streams and if like sometimes like there was a blip in one of the in Zoom, and what that did was it caused, because I in order for me to have everything set up correctly in OBS, it's maximized. So something happened in Zoom, and it didn't minimize it, but it just made it smaller. It just demaximized it, and so all my setups, you just see like a little small section of it being streamed. So I looked at it and was like, that's not right. So I had to go back and maximize everything. So that kind of screwed up a couple of the streams. But it's kind of cool that they didn't. That YouTube, I'm pretty surprised YouTube didn't really end the live stream. But no one did that. They did attack, probably a DDoS attack on the Unity4J website. Some anonymous on Twitter was taking credit for it. Excuse me. Man. Oh, so Eric, what did you think? Anything that you liked or didn't like about what was talked about, what was said, how things were?
I didn't watch every single interview. There was like a few interviews I missed out on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to remember what time I woke up today. I even forgot what time I woke up today because there was so much going on, and a lot of sharing and all this other stuff. But I missed like I think the first few hours, I believe.
Okay, the ones on Saturday.
No, the ones like
today.
Today's. But I'll catch up with those. But all the interviews, the discussions, everything, I thought all of it was great.
Yeah. I actually I mean we've had Perseus Gold, who's what they say alt-right, and I need to talk to him again, because we're talking about RH blood types recently, and
Perseus Gold alt-right? No, he's not alt-right. I don't see him that way.
Yeah, I don't see him that way either. But
he was on?
No. He was on topic with the Bill Cooper stuff a couple days ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But Jack Posobiec, if that's how you say it, because he's what they claim is alt-right, but what he was talking, I was like, yeah, I like this guy. Or I like what this guy says. And it just goes to show you that there's really not much difference for all these little left-right divisions or whatever that the mainstream narrative is trying to push. And I think that's why the whole Vigil thing, the unity thing, is important, because we got to unite on things that we can unite about, and free speech is one of them. Big
time.
You take away free speech for one group, I mean, that's just bad. It's just not good. It never works when that happens. So you can't be selective in freedom. You just can't. You can't say, hey, this group can be totally free and this group, no, you guys can't have these rights, freedoms, stuff. So what else? I mean, I think it might be better to talk tomorrow night when we're not so tired.
Like with me, I'm kind of tired, but not tired at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, so I finally got my son to take a nap. I mean, it was only like 30 minutes, but I was trying to just take a nap. But I'm sometimes I'm at that point where I'm just too tired to be sleepy. I don't know if that makes sense. You guys have that, right? Where you're
I
tired, you
was
want to go to sleep.
I was hoping that would happen for me today, but I was out like a light bulb.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would happen to me, but I was out like a light bulb.
All right. So tomorrow, there's a lot to do. I was looking at my birds, the robins that are nesting outside. They're getting big. I think they could be flying out any time. So I was like, oh man, I want to show people this because they're getting big and they're losing their fledgling, their tufts of baby hair. And Bill Cooper has once a couple of the guests that were talking got on. I was like, all right, we got to talk about the conspiracy theorist stuff and continue on with Bill Cooper. I mean, what's great about it is like
I like listening in though.
Yeah, there's a couple of,
and plus, you know, I've been doing like a bunch of other stuff recently, so that's why I haven't been on.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, when you're on, you're on. I see you in the live chat and tweeting away and a whole bunch of stuff. So it's trust me, when you're on, I know you're on because all your tweets
on camera.
Yeah. I mean, not just on camera, but you're on live chat, you're on Twitter. Snort, the only time I kind of know he's on is he'll mention some joke on the Twitter DM group. I don't, yeah, like talking
or like
about
that picture I sent the other day. I found it on Twitter.
The
and it was funny.
Milk?
No, not that one.
Okay.
The other one. The one with Hillary Clinton in the background blocking a word, then it turned out to be my favorite word.
Oh yeah.
Just giving out hints, but I won't say it.
I think it was supposed to be count, and then she blocked it. Oh, that's a good one. If people don't know,
I found out online, and I thought it was funny.
No, that's great. I mean, I love those angles where it's not photoshopped, because if it's photoshopped, it takes the fun out of everything, because you know it's fake. But when it's just a real situation where someone thought of, I always wonder if they're thinking of it while they're taking that shot, taking that picture. Is like, hey, I could take a picture of her in front of it, so you know the words show cunt. Or, you know, it was just taken and then they looked at it afterwards, just like, hey, that's kind of funny. I wasn't paying attention to that part. So if people, I'll go and share the screen in a bit, and so people can see what it is we're talking about. So one of the messages that I agree with Jimmy Dore and a couple of others, I think it was Peter Lavelle? Oh no, Jaron Kiriakou. I can't remember. But they're like, you know, I don't really want to do this stuff, but there's no one else doing it. And I think that's the irony. It's like how I mean, how is this happening? Like, I don't know. So this is what I'm sharing the screen. That's what Eric found. That photo. I really hope that that's not photoshopped. I mean, it looks like it could be, but you never know. I wish because I feel like that's cropped, so I kind of want to see the full picture just to see what the banner behind it was. But yeah.
But it does look Photoshop, but still funny.
Yeah, it's still funny. But yeah, the entire premise of why is there no one else doing the stuff that we're doing? Maybe they did. Maybe they got killed and we just didn't know about it. Just like Bill Cooper, we never knew about Bill Cooper. And if he did, he just thought, oh, I just read the wiki. Yeah, he was a loon. He was like loony
I
bin.
can tell you why. Corporate media.
Yeah.
And its censorship and wanting just to suppress the truth and just keep spewing propaganda culture nonsensical on the distracto box.
Yeah. But then the thing is, so there's two outcomes. You're either bought out, and Jimmy Dore says, hey, if someone pays me $30,000 a day, don't listen to me. So I like that about Jimmy. He's still funny when he tells you the honest truth, and people don't want to believe it. But you know, he might be he might be telling the truth about that.
He is honest about that. I could tell.
Yeah, and then because otherwise they kill you, right? They're not afraid to kill you if you get too big. We know that they do that, or they try to go after you. You know, all these little. That's why we had to say, hey, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to jump in the river and drown myself. I don't want to hang myself. I don't want to shoot myself in the head. I don't. Just so you guys know that, right?
Oh, hell no.
So that's depressing. Yeah, I know Shirley. Shirley made a good mention that when the vigil was on with the live show, there's 4,000 viewers, and then the vigil itself had just a couple hundred. I think what should have happened is just the personalities that come on, the guests, they should tweet away or announce on their upload a video saying, hey, I'm gonna come on, and you know there's this vigil happening for Julian Assange. Go ahead and view it, and I'm also gonna be on there in like 30 minutes, an hour, whatever. I think that would have been great for people to do, but we never see them do that. We never see them do that.
We do it.
Yeah, we do it, but you know we don't reach as many as them. They've already been kind of around.
Hey, at least it's known that we shared it. So
yeah.
It's proof. It's proof.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's just we're not working very well together. I mean, we're not even working together. And when we do work together, we're not working well together. And that needs to change.
Yeah.
And Shirley, that's awesome. Going to other live chats that are live streaming and letting people know that the vigil was going on. That's a good idea. See, I didn't even think about doing that. But I kind of also wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go into other people's live streams and say, hey. But I mean, it's just a mention. It's just that's what you use the live chat for. So, I mean, some people go on and they plug themselves. So I don't disagree with people plugging themselves, even with dildos or not. Is it too late for that? All right.
Oh. Speaking of which.
Once I start talking dildos, we know that
No.
It's getting late.
Well, I had to plug this in.
Sorry.
Support WikiLeaks. Get yourself some merchandise.
Oh yeah.
That's right. I'm telling people, get yourself some merchandise. Support WikiLeaks.
You know, instead of wearing the MAGA hat with those, you should wear the I'm with her hat and confuse a lot of the neoliberals. They're like, wait, are we is the Hillary Clinton camp supposed to be for Julian Assange and WikiLeaks? It's gonna blow their mind. They're gonna be like, I can't handle this. So I'm gonna have to get you a Madame President hat, Eric, just so you can wear the "I'm with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks" shirt and just confuse the hell out of them.
Trigger people.
Yeah, trigger people. Get them like,
they'll be like, oh, Hillary supporter, or oh, Trump supporter. Ooh, scary.
That's what I'm gonna have to start doing. I'm gonna have to start wearing contrasting apparel and just get people confused as to what the hell is going on.
Like my Twitter profile picture with a MAGA hat, a Styx cup with a spoon in it, and then I'm with WikiLeaks too. And that offended people, and that was great. But some people thought it was stupid, but some people actually really liked the picture.
Yeah.
You get very.
I mean, it's a first impression. People who know you, Eric, they're like, "Yeah, that's Eric. That's that's good stuff." Just like Ryan. Ryan went into the Suzie Dawson chat, and I think he was like shadow banned or something, and he was asking questions. But I think some mod like banned him or something, and he was. I think he started off with a joke, and for us, we'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's Ryan," and we'd shoot back and joke with Ryan, right? The thing is, people in there don't know. The mods in there don't know Ryan. You know, they just think he's just trolling, like a troll, and so it's just hard to get misconstrued with just an impression, a first impression, when people don't know you or understand you. So that's why it does make sense when they say, you know, first impression makes a big difference, and it's important. Yeah, right. Shirley, you can watch Ryan's video from last night. There's a little bit of a thing. I wish he was on so we could talk about it, because I think he's not altogether wrong. Also,
hey Ben.
Wrong. Hey Ben. Anyways, I was gonna kind of end it, but since you're on, do you want to share what you liked, what you disliked about what was said? Any of the thoughts?
I caught some things. I didn't probably watch too much altogether, but I don't really have anything negative. I think I had one thing. I had one critique earlier, and you asked, but I don't really want to like be that my one entry. I don't know on the thing, so I didn't really see enough. I might go back and rewatch it. I think sometimes it's nice to have media that's like worthwhile to rewatch, and like really like some stuff is very temporal. It's just maybe temporal is a word, but just very much like the news cycle, kind of forgotten things, and there's some things that are more like valuable at 6 months later, still the same amount of value to look back at. So I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think mostly what I saw was pretty good. I saw some stuff from Nico House. I think I saw some a little bit from the Australian guy. I think
Nico was good.
Yeah. I don't want to say anything negative. But
Graham Elwood was good. I don't really watch his stuff, but I thought what he said was good too.
Reasoned, practical man.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, a lot of it was a lot of the same stuff, the same sentiments, the same ideas, the same things. So it was. It's great. It's not groupthink in a way. It's everyone has their own opinions. But it can't the same sentiments, except it came across as pretty much the same goal, same end goal, and the importance of free speech, the importance of someone like Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, because someone else is next. Yeah, I know Zox. Graham Elwood is very anti-gun.
If you're up for talking about it, I wanted to talk about some stuff, but that's fine. If you're gonna go, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of want to shower and get some rest so I could function tomorrow. Yeah, the thing is,
Yeah,
what I
brief about it then.
when go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
I'm unable to be brief about it, so.
All right, we'll save it for tomorrow. I'll have the birds. I'll have the on topic, and then I'll have the off topic. So if James isn't doing a live show, or if Ryan isn't doing a live show, I'll have one. So.
Yeah. Actually kind of about, well, it was more pertinent, so I might not even have something, so don't worry about that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, all good.
Okay. All right. Thanks for coming on, everyone. Thanks for supporting the Unity 4J and all the other rest of the stuff.
Always, anytime, and I'm looking forward to supporting next month as well.
Well, let's hope that we don't have to have the next month. He's actually reconnected, at least.
I want, I want Julian Assange reconnected, freed, be able to actually freely speak his mind, even if it's including politics that, that might affect, what, I don't care. I don't care if like the establishment gets offended. Well, maybe the establishment shouldn't have did what they've done anyway. That's my honest opinion. Maybe they shouldn't have been corrupted. Maybe they shouldn't have, brainwashed people with corporate media and misleading and misguiding people. That's their problem. That's not the citizens' problem. It's the establishment's problem.
Yeah.
I'll tell it like it is because I don't care.
Yeah, I know that, Eric. All right, awesome. Thanks, you guys. And will be awesome.
Love you all.
Yeah, would be awesome is if Julian Assange gets reconnected and he actually gets on and talks within the internet party and everyone who's on, and that would be awesome. People being able to the independent media themselves that really want Julian Assange free. That Julian Assange, if he can reconnect, that he can spend time and talk with everyone that want to ask him questions. What I would love is to actually get people on, for ordinary people to come on and talk and ask questions and have discussions. And it's hard because either people don't know that we're here and exist, or people just don't want to come on. We do know that there are people that have come on in the past. But who knows? If I would love to have Stanley Kubrick's daughter, Vivian Kubrick, and also Mark Crispin Miller on. What's great is Mark Crispin Miller loves this type of thing, loves this type of discussion. So who knows? I'll try asking and coordinating and see if that's a possibility. But,
cool.
We're just ordinary people really wanting to do something, and we are doing something.
That's always a good thing. Hey, we're creating our own content, so that's a great thing. It actually steals and leeches off the attention of the mainstream media. It's a great thing. I mean, more people should do this.
Yeah, I mean, even if we have we don't really have a big following, but you know what? We still follow each other, and we still communicate, and we still pass on anything that's noteworthy, which is always good. That's how news should be. It shouldn't be, everyone talking to the funnel going up to the top, and then they filter out things that go back to other people. It should just be all across the board. Hey, this is what's happening. But anyways, that's Snark with the huge yawn. All right, that means it's time to go. Okay, see you guys. This is for real. All right.
Night, everyone. Love you all. Take care. Have a great week.
You too.